This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching the best movies ever made, according to IMDb. Our website is mission250filmcast.com, where the list is frozen and you can check out the upcoming episodes. I'm one of your hosts, Denny, and joining me are
John
and TC.
And this week, we are watching number 114, which is the 1992 movie Unforgiven, directed by Clint Eastwood and also starring Clint Eastwood. The synopsis is retired.
Not written by him, though.
Not written by him. That's right. Well, he wrote the song, at least. The theme song.
Is there a song he wrote? Did he write the song? Never me, never be.
Unforgiven.
All me unforgiven.
Retired Old West gunslinger William Money reluctantly takes one last job with the help of his old partner and a young man. And this week, it is this young man's turn to go first. John, what did you think?
I don't watch movies anymore, kid. I used to do that. I don't do that anymore.
Now I wrestle with pigs.
Did you really watch like 3 weeks? What, did you do a podcast, right? I hear you did a podcast.
Did you watch the best movies ever made, Paul?
I don't do it anymore, kid. That's not me. I'm a different man now. Sorry.
Apology not accepted.
Come on. I'm trying to have fun. We're supposed to have fun, right? Fun? Remember fun?
No.
Fun, kid. I don't have fun.
You have
Fun isn't what I do. I grin.
Fun's for people that are cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're front loading the front of this episode with our terrible Clint Eastwood impressions.
That's
always
fine.
a good thing.
Yeah. Well, watching that's I can't even do it. Yeah. I can't even do it badly again.
I know, right?
Yeah. Watching those movies, it does something to a man.
Yeah. If I didn't know we weren't watching a Clint Eastwood movie, I wouldn't know what you were doing right now.
That's right. We're watching a Clint Eastwood movie. So any kind of low gravelly talking, that's Clint Eastwood, okay?
Yep.
Fine.
Yes.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get on with it.
That sums it right up. All right. So, anyways, next week we have
again. Yep. It's about all we could do with some bad Clint Eastwood impressions, and we're done. That's all we got.
Yeah.
All that should be expected of us.
Let's see. So this movie, I like what the movie tries to do a lot.
Tries. Is that bad?
Tries.
Well, I still like it. I don't know.
It was a great idea.
It's great because we will see more of this. We did see, what was it? Fistful of Dollars, was it? So Clint often plays, as the gunfighter, he plays the cowboy who murders everybody, basically, and they
including
probably
women and children.
Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, I mean, he just goes in and murders everybody, and so it's really, I think it's a great idea to approach this Western from, the idea of putting some kind of humanity on that and showing how it's not a lot of fun and games. Although they still can't help but try to make him look badass in the end, which I think sort of, I don't know, seems to sour it a little to me. I don't know. But Morgan Freeman's great. And Gene Hackman just chews it up. I think it's great. I think he's just going nutso, being angry, vicious sheriff. And I really like Gene Hackman in this. The kid, I don't know. I know exactly. Not exactly. I know what they were trying to do with the kid, and I just didn't seem to work. Even though I wanted. I mean, it was kind of funny, that he's blind. And there's a lot of sort of odd humor in the movie that I kind of liked. I just don't know how well it was pulled off. But I still like the idea of it very much, so I went along with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Kind of.
There's a lot of reaction shots, which I got kind of annoyed with pretty quickly. They're just
the Western. You got to have the face close-ups. You have to.
Yeah, it's not just a face close-up. It's like I don't know how they do this, and maybe there's an exact term for what this is called. Somebody has to stand up, move forward, and the camera moves in all at once. It just happens where you stand up, you look over at whatever awesome thing that person has just done, or maybe a bad thing. Something happened, and you just somehow there's movement of the person and the camera coming towards the person. So you just have this sort of reaction shot, and it lasted a long time. They would do this 2 or 3 reaction shots, and they would sit on the person for a long time. It's they would, the writer. It's oh, look at what the writer thinks about this. Look at that. Look at that.
I think I only noticed that with the kids when he was trying to shoot the bottle, and they kept zooming to the kids looking at each other. I'm what are they trying to get across here? Do they hate their dad now? What are they doing here?
I don't know, but they did it with the writer. They would just have reaction shots of various people, mostly the writer towards the end, where you'd see like the writer is like, "Yeah, I get it. He's all impressed now," or "I get it. He's scared." I'm just like, I feel like they're just trying to say, "Hey, look at that. Look, see that he's scared now. Oh, see, she's kind of impressed with him right now. You see that?" So it's like, okay, thanks.
I can't disagree with that.
I kind of can. This is what movies do. You have to show people doing
I
things
know you
for
do.
it to
It
get
just,
across.
it just felt like this is a little bit too. Hey, you see? Hey, hello.
He's scared now. You should be scared. See how he's scared?
see?
You should be scared. He's unarmed. So
He's got a pencil. That's all he's got.
he's he knows words.
But I really like the idea of the film, and I still think it did it reasonably well. I wasn't sucked into it. I kept getting like pulled out for different reasons, and so I'm not sure how I feel about it. I still really like the idea, and I think I'm actually really more interested. I'd rather see the prequel to this one. I like the idea of a character like Money, how he met this woman and how that changed his life after he was this alcoholic, murderous.
You don't want to know, John. You don't. I mean, that's one of the things I thought about this movie is that plot device is perfect because I don't think you can possibly show someone going from like crazy alcoholic murderer to like calm dude. And the fact that they killed her off screen before the movie even starts lets you just accept the change and not have to realistically think about how it would never happen that way.
I guess that's fair. Too. But I think it would, if a movie could pull that off, that would be really interesting.
Agreed.
Because
I don't know how that would happen.
It's fair. I mean, maybe it's just like, I mean, he's still, and he's still, which again, I kind of understand this. I think that he still can kill people, and he's, it bothers him.
He's pretty fucking good at it too when he gets drunk.
Yeah, especially drunk. And there's a lot, I don't know. I like that this movie did this where they allowed Clint to look like clumsy and so on. Where he's this normal murderous cowboy, and you see him being really clumsy, like he can't get on his horse. He can't shoot the can until he gets the shotgun. And it's not so much about his character. It's just, especially once you've seen these other Westerns that he's in, it's almost like making fun of that. And that's pretty cool that it was done that way. That it is Clint Eastwood who's been this big badass guy in these other movies. It's just showing it's as if he was one of those characters from that movie, and now he's changed.
He owned horses. Why did he get so bad at riding horses? Just because he wasn't killing people.
Yeah. You get on a horse, you drink, you kill people. That's just sort of what happened. Yeah, I don't know.
You stop drinking, you get a little wobbly on a horse.
Yeah. He just only farmed. Maybe he wouldn't ride the horse anymore because that reminded him of the old days. I don't know. It's like getting in the gangster car. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah. So I have mixed feelings about the film. I don't know if that makes. I don't know.
Not allowed to have mixed feelings, John. You either got to love it or you got to hate it.
I
That's
know.
The
it's
rules.
a little unusual for me. And I'm sort of like, Morgan Freeman, Gene Hackman. I even like Clint Eastwood in the role. And I guess I feel like, and this is Clint Eastwood's directing. I think his directing, like it's more so seen in like Gran Torino and later, but it just seems a little ham-fisted.
It's a little heavy.
Yeah. So, and I think that kind of bothers me, but it's still, I think it's a neat story. And the scriptwriter is the guy that did Blade Runner.
Really?
And yeah.
Ooh.
He did this script before he did Blade Runner.
Yeah, this script was not liked before this movie got made.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like the best part of the
Is
movie,
it?
Maybe. Is it? I don't know. TC, what do you think? Go negative.
Go TC.
I don't know. It's just kind of a
You're
stupid
fresh
story.
from the movie anyway, right?
It's a dumb story.
Stupid story.
It's just a dumb story. Like I couldn't care less about any of these people.
Aw.
How
How can you call this a dumb story after watching that other dumb story we watched last week?
Well, the shoes was a dumb one. Yeah, of
That
course.
was pretty
but,
dumb. There's also the run around Vienna. Dumb. That was pretty dumb.
I don't know. I just I did, like you said, John. I think you hit it for me with it did not pull me in at all. I was just kind of watching a Clint Eastwood movie, being like, it's a Clint Eastwood movie. I got 2 words for this movie: rain machine.
Yes.
Lots of rain machine.
Love it.
That's like all I kept thinking about. I'm like,
Rain
how many
machine.
times are they going to use the rain machine?
You get sick of it, dude? I wish they
I
used
got
rain
so
machines
sick of it.
every single scene of every
it's
movie
so
ever
obvious it's a fucking rain machine. Like it's not even close.
How do you tell? How do you tell it's the rain
It's
machine?
because it's too much.
'Cause
There's
it's
just
so
too much
heavy.
water. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
too
Oh, yeah.
much. And it's too
And if you look at
consistent.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see waves of it. There's like lines that go diagonally across in like spurts. It's like you
Yeah,
can see it go from like left to right.
We get pretty
know.
well the lines, and we get some heavy rain here sometimes. So it's like,
but it's uniform.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
But
true.
DC, you got to admit, there's some pretty like there's a long panning shot where they're riding in the rain and he's like trying to get Clint Eastwood's character to drink the whiskey.
Yeah.
And they're just like riding the horses and it's raining the entire. That must have been
Dude,
a
it's
fuckload of rain
pouring.
machines.
It's
Yeah.
fucking pouring. I mean, like way too much.
No, it's
It's-
cool. I like it.
I
I
don't
liked
know.
all the rain.
I don't know. I didn't like this one. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. And
Come on,
as
how
far as
about-
like Westerns go, it's definitely
Yeah.
not in, I don't know. It's a dumb story with, dumb shit going on. It's like Clint Eastwood loves to fucking just like make these stories so he kind of looks like a badass, but he gets to just whisper the whole time and then use a rain machine. So
Rain machine.
I didn't like this one to the point of like, And funny thing is, I remember little bits and pieces of it, so I must have seen it before on, TBS or TNT,
yeah.
because that's where I imagine this kind of movie would live. It's not something that you would rent on purpose. I had to rent it on purpose because of this fucking podcast, but
On
Sorry.
purpose.
yeah, on purpose because I wouldn't do it in regular life. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, this one didn't do it for me.
Ah, you
At all.
guys.
Oh, go, Danny. Are you going to be all happy? Do you
Dude,
love
this
it?
movie is
Do you
fucking
love it?
awesome. I love
Wow.
this movie.
Yes.
Wow,
I'm
There you
surprised.
go.
Really, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, everything you guys are saying, I can't disagree with because it's kind of true. Clint Eastwood's directing style is pretty heavy, but like it's not heavy enough in this one where I really care that much. I notice it, but I'm just like, whatever. This is fucking awesome. I love like the thing that really draws me in is the fact that this movie, unlike like you were saying, John, it's like opposite where I wouldn't say it's necessarily a continuation of his earlier movies. It's kind of the opposite of all the other Western movies, like especially because in old Westerns, there were tons of scenes in the middle of the desert where you had a bunch of people hiding behind rocks shooting at each other.
Right.
And like that scene is probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie when they kill the younger of the two
Right.
guys.
Right.
Give me
And
a
it
water,
shows-
Slim.
Yeah,
It's
and he's like, we won't shoot. Like, it's
awful
so
and-
drawn out and
yeah.
it's so off. Yeah, it's
Right.
awful
and
it's
almost
realistic.
funny at the same time because it's like, give him some water.
Yeah,
So
and he's just dying and crawling away. And
yeah.
dude, that scene is so good. And it's kind of like, oh yeah, like every single Western movie is unrealistic. This is what it would really be like. The glory is removed from the violence of those movies.
It is, and
because
it's
of this scene.
it's almost funny because they're like, he shot him, he shot our boy, he said what?
Dude, you were laughing.
It's
I was like,
almost,
I
because
thought
like,
it was a joke. I thought this was
What?
like, yeah.
it's like funny in the context of these other
Absolutely.
westerns. It's just the contrast between those things that
I'm like,
almost
when
makes
did
it
this
funny.
become a comedy? What is this movie?
But
oh,
it's-
what the fuck? Seriously? I don't even
Yeah.
understand that. That was like,
oh,
I was into the
I'm
movie
like, this
enough
is
where that
so
scene was
dumb.
affecting.
Shoot the motherfucker already is what I kept thinking to myself. Like, just shoot him. What are you doing? Oh, we won't shoot him. Then you
DC's a
shoot
little
him.
more hardened.
Yeah,
I don't know, dude. I was totally into the realism of this movie, even though it was, still a movie. It just seemed much more real.
Yeah, no, I think I completely agree with you though. I really like that the idea of it and the message behind it. I think is really good. It's great in contrast to these other westerns. I think that it's really just a great idea, and I just can argue about the execution whether I'm drawn in or not. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. In the story
Yeah.
too, I thought the story was pretty awesome, especially the way it introduces a bunch of characters and like with one exception, one character exception, introduces characters in a way that seems like it's a continuation of one single driving plot line. Like it's not a bunch of characters coming in with their own things going on. It's like this one prostitute gets slashed up and then all of these other characters get involved.
They come into place with the
because of
exception
it.
of like the
with
Duke.
English Bob or whatever.
Yeah,
who-
what
He's
a
kind of the-
useless character that was.
Yeah, but he was entertaining, wasn't he?
He was.
I guess.
And I really liked. I just like the scenes. It allowed Gene Hackman to have that scene where he's like telling the writer what really happened. And
Oh my god, the first
liked
scene
that
in the
a
jail
lot,
cell
too.
was one of
Yeah.
the best scenes.
Yeah, I thought
His
that was
description of
again,
like how the guy cowered it out and his hand blew off and like the other
yeah,
guy's gun
and how
jammed.
he's, how he's just like relishing telling this story again.
Yep.
I think that I think Gene Hackman was just really amazing in this film. I
and that
thought he
other
was
scene
just-
in the jail cell where he's like, give him the gun and the guy
Yeah.
won't take it. That
Right.
was suspenseful as hell, man.
it was
That was
good.
like,
It was good.
yeah.
I agree. You could like I could be talked into this one again in
Yes,
terms of
dude, I'll
I
talk
know.
you into
Keep
it.
going.
I'm in love with this
Not
movie.
gonna
I
happen
know.
for me.
Not to DC, but I know. But again, I think there are a lot of really good scenes like that. And again, particularly, I think Gene Hackman just kind of steals the show in terms
yeah.
of just being really fierce and really I don't know. I think
hateable, but kind
yeah.
of entertaining to watch the
Right,
entire time.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
It's gotta be hard
and
to
there's
do.
like this, yeah, and there's even a comedy to him in the sense of like the house with the, like his house is a mess, and I mean it's just.
I thought he was going to kill the writer when the
I
writer
know.
like insulted his carpenterness,
I know.
carpentry.
Yes, well he didn't.
Oh,
write it.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
that's what
Shoot
he's
the
doing, but
carpenter or whatever he
Yeah.
said. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it was
just
just
in this leaky house.
What else? I didn't think Morgan Freeman was that good in this movie. I don't think he did that much.
I
You
don't
know?
think he had
It's a
too much
weird
to do
character.
except be like the straight man sort of, just like he was like calm and just like soothing, doing
Yeah,
Morgan
but,
Freeman voice.
I mean, he had probably the most apparent character arcs in the movie where he
right.
thought he could still kill, but then he couldn't. But that whole thing was kind of just like, I'm going to go home. I'm
Right.
going to go home. And you're just like, oh, dude, you got to act here. This is like your fucking moment, man.
And I still feel
Yeah.
that even, I feel sort of that same way with the kid. Like I know I saw the arc too, and I didn't quite buy it. I know exactly what they're trying to do, and it just didn't it's like it just felt like kind of a swing and a miss with that one too. I think I like the idea of the story of how both of these characters can't handle, like Morgan, who used to kill, just can't handle it anymore, and this kid who wants to kill and idolizes this idea. It makes him sick to actually do it. I think those are really great ideas to put in a Western like this, and I just didn't feel like it was executed or.
Do you think it was the
acted as
kids
well.
acting, or do you think it was the way it was put together?
It could be both. It could be both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're in some ways maybe they're trying to play it for comedic effect or something. I don't know. Like at first, but I mean, it is kind of what? Are you blind? He's blind. You blind kid? Just
I don't know. There are a lot of like really subtle movements. For example, that scene where he's got a gun pointed at Morgan Freeman's face, and the kid looks like all nervous, and you think it's supposed to be tense, but Morgan Freeman's just like, "You fucking idiot." He doesn't say anything. He just like
right.
kind of sighs and rides on without even being afraid of the kid.
Right.
You just like read him, and stuff like that is kind of cool.
But Morgan's pretty laconic through the whole thing. He's just kind of, that's kind of the way he is through most of the film. And even when he's like, can't do it anymore. Can't kill
Like,
him.
oh shit, they're gonna torture and kill me. Oh god, this is probably bad.
It's just every time, and he's just always talking in that narrative, friendly Morgan Freeman voice. Well, I'm afraid I can't tell you who the killers are. Yeah, I really wish you wouldn't beat me anymore, but
What else can I freaking? I don't know.
I mean, there's not much to this movie, so I don't know.
I didn't see a whole lot of
how
trivia for it, or I just
No, there's not. And
It's strange.
Dude, the commentary track is like, we have a new Peter Cowie, you guys. He's new. Well, he's not exactly
really?
new. Yeah, he's pretty bad. He's his name is Richard Schickel, something like that. He's been in 2 other commentary tracks so far, but
Richard
he was in Strangers in
Schickel?
a Train, and he was sliced up with a bunch of other people. And then for On the Waterfront, if you guys remember how much I hated that commentary track, he was with some other old guy. So it was like him
Right.
and one other dude. And for this one, it's just him.
Huh.
This is him by himself,
Huh.
and he doesn't know anything. He wrote like a biography on Clint Eastwood. and-
He died in 2017 at the age of 84.
yeah.
Wow.
He is a professional commentator,
Huh.
pretty much. Do you want to hear the movies he's commentated in? We have 3 more movies in this list that he's done commentaries on for fuck's
Wow.
sake.
He's written a lot of books. Wow, he wrote a lot
Yeah,
of
he's
books.
a lot of biographies on movies, but I'll read the ones that you probably heard of. Dirty Harry, La Dolce Vita, East of Eden, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, The Hustler, The Mark of Zorro, On the Waterfront, Once Upon a Time in America, The Purple
Titanic.
Heart, Rebecca, Side Street, Sudden Impact.
You're going to be hearing him a lot more, aren't you?
Yeah, dude. He was the one in Rebecca too? Damn.
Yeah. So the other guy you were mentioning, he was the guy that was in like a lot of the really artsy ones, right?
He was in all of the, what's his names? The Wild Strawberries and Persona. God, why can't I think of it? Wild Strawberries.
Wow, we're just
not
already
learning
lost
anything.
It.
No, we're not.
It's just got in one ear. Ingmar Bergman.
There you go.
Oh,
Ingmar
there we
Bergman.
go. That's right.
Yeah.
How could we forget?
Oh, on purpose, actually.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I got not a lot of trivia on this one, but I don't know.
So David Webb Peoples' other screenplays that he did 12 Monkeys too.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
But this is an
also-
adapted screenplay, right?
No, he wrote this one. I don't think it was much was adapted. I think one of the changes Clint made was instead of narration, they did the writing at the beginning and end.
Yeah. Because they
That was-
originally had like a voiceover over the scene
Right.
where they're slicing up the prostitute.
Right. Oh, he did Lady Hawk.
What's that?
Lady Hawk?
Lady Hawk.
Don't you remember Lady Hawk?
TC, do you know what Lady Hawk is?
Matthew
No.
Broderick, yet Rutger Hauer, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Not a clue.
She's a
Not a
lady and
clue.
she's a hawk.
She's a lady. She's a
She's a
hawk.
lady.
Literally,
She's a hawk.
It's actually the case. She's
The
a
first
lady
thing he
that
did
turns
was the
into a
Blade
hawk.
Runner screenplay.
What?
The first thing he did was the Blade Runner screenplay.
But the first thing, I don't know. I thought no. He did Unforgiven before. I think he did Lady Hawk. That was one of his first.
No, dude. No, Lady Hawk was 1985. Blade Runner was 1982.
Oh,
How do you
wow.
get the
Wow.
Blade Runner writing like job before you do anything else? How is that a thing? Who do you
I don't
know?
That's a good question.
Maybe I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, maybe. Well, he may have been just smart enough to want to adapt that book because I mean the Philip K. Dick book was pretty out there, and he took to sort of like take away sort of the parts that would be very difficult to make a movie out of for starters. I think he just did it and shopped it around.
Huh.
I don't know. I'm making up things.
And
Nice.
Ridley
Cool.
Scott was like, dude, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
We get us some money. We'll make this movie. We got Harrison Ford. It'll be good.
Come on, you don't know. You'll have to check out Lady Hawk. You had to have seen Lady Hawk. I bet if you hear
No.
the theme song
Is it a
to Lady
movie?
Hawk, yes, it's a movie.
Dude, look at the cover of that. There's absolutely no way I've seen this fucking movie. It's got a guy on a horse trying to catch a bird.
Right.
Yeah,
the lady-
that's the movie.
yes,
bird.
yes, exactly right. Yes,
And you've
that's-
seen it. It's fucking great.
That's it. That's the one.
Definitely haven't seen this. Oh, this is right around when Matthew Broderick killed a person, huh? 1985, starring in the
What?
movie.
What? He killed a person?
Yeah.
How did he kill somebody? I didn't know that.
He was driving on the wrong side of the road in like Ireland or Europe somewhere, and he
Oh
fucking
dear.
Oh.
in
wow.
the late 80s, I think. So it might have been right after this movie.
Oh, he was still a little boy. Or
Was he a
just-
boy in this?
Well, he just looks so little. Oh, yeah, he was like a little sort of a kid in this. I mean, he just was kind of young.
Cool.
You should watch Lady Hawk.
What did you? I mean, all right. So living back in the West, let's get all make believe time because the movie, it's a Western. It's got some revenge. It's got some killing. That's about it.
Yep.
How would you guys fare in the West, like in the Old West? What position would you think you would find yourself in, knowing yourself?
Oh, I'd be
You know.
dead. I wouldn't have like survived childhood. I'd been a runt. I mean, I wouldn't have-
Measles, something would have got him.
I'm not feeling good. Well, all right. It's,
All right, that was it.
Time to leave the farm, boy.
Yeah.
Just hit the road because you're not going to be useful here. I can't
TC?
lift the pig, Dad.
John dead. TC.
I don't know.
You mean be an outlaw,
going
TC?
down there. Yeah, I'm not even going down that road.
You'd be an outlaw. You'd be an outlaw. You'd like ride standing up in the back of horses, like
Well, I
skateboarding
was
sort of
thinking
thing.
the whole time. I'm like, why isn't anybody just shooting this fucking idiot little Bill by now? If I lived in this town,
Because
with
no one
this
has
idiot,
guns.
fuck that. I'd figure it out.
How?
yeah,
You live
I
in the
might
middle
be.
of fucking nowhere.
I might be an outlaw. I'd figure out how to get rid of that dumbass.
Yeah. He only shows up though when other people have already gathered around. He's never by himself.
He's just a fuck. I don't know, man. I can't imagine if it's a lawless state like that. Besides some dude with a badge saying "Give me your gun," that wouldn't figure itself out.
That
pretty
wouldn't
quickly.
go well eventually.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sooner or
There's
later,
no
it'd be like,
way.
"Hey, you want my gun? All right.
Oh
Here's
yeah,
the-
that's a good one, pal. Bye. Have a good time, and the rest of you go fuck yourself, and then you ride on. I don't know.
And then there's reaction shots.
Yeah, slow.
We were reading
reaction.
about how the murder rates back in the Wild West aren't as high as you think they would be.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
From watching the films where somebody rides into town and kills everybody.
Everybody,
Yeah.
with one gun.
So back in 15 years ago, in New Orleans, had like one of the highest murder rates this country's ever had,
Wow.
and it was like 60 something out of 100,000 people living there
Oh.
per year. And in the Wild West, it is estimated that it was 165 people per 100,000 adults. And while that is about 3 times as big, it's still,
It's not your daily massacres.
yeah. I always thought it was like, if you live in the Wild West, 50-50 chance any given day you're going to
Oh,
get
wait.
fucking shot.
That's New Orleans. I mean, where are you thinking? Where are you getting? I mean, what area is this? The West that they were saying these numbers were for? Where were these numbers? Like the number that you gave out there, like that was.
They're
for the,
Dodge City numbers from 1876
Oh, okay.
to 1885, which is a
Huh.
pretty central location for the Wild West.
okay, yeah.
Hmm.
An average, I guess, over a long period of time, this number is a little more shocking. If you're an adult who lived in Dodge City over those periods of years, over those 9 years, you faced at least a 1 in 61 chance of being murdered.
Damn.
That's
Almost 2%
pretty high.
of the population was murdered over those 10 years. So I
Okay,
guess
so
over time, that's
that's not so good.
People are dying
No.
left and right.
Because
Yeah.
you know,
you
in a nice
you add
steady
up, like,
pace.
if you have that
It's
triple
pretty
murder
cool.
rate year after year after year, that's a lot of murders, right? So
Yeah.
is the kind of murder though. It's like as long as you know, stay out of trouble and stuff. Like you don't challenge people to gunfights, which
Yeah,
seem to
don't
be a
slice up a prostitute.
Yeah.
You know, simple shit, really.
yeah. Just don't do like animalistic, horrible things.
No,
And maybe
you never know. I mean, you're coming down to town and you're just trying to buy some dry goods, you know.
Some asshole says, give me a gun.
and you're like,
you
no,
know,
I need it to buy my fruit.
Or
Yeah.
you need it to do anything else.
I mean, or you could be robbed. I'm sure that you could be robbed, or people could just come into your home and hold you at gunpoint and take your stuff. I don't know.
Mm.
God, pretty sure I would live in the woods. Like I'd be one of the people who would learn how to camp if I had like the means to. If my parents could like whatever teach me how to do that, I would not opt to live in a society if like there was a constant threat of someone breaking through my shitty freaking door with their foot easily and having
Yeah.
no repercussions, just coming in and murdering me. And
You
like,
gonna go live with the Bears? Ask Leo how that goes, huh?
yeah, dude, I'll live with the bears. I live
Go
on the
live with the
outskirts of
bears.
town. I'll kind of
Yeah.
like circle a town so people can't find me, and I'll just have little camping spots around
They'll make
it.
up
and
stories about you.
Then, yeah,
They'll,
Yeah,
they'll say
a
you're a
woodsman.
witch. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll say you're a witch, and then they'll burn you.
Fuck, that's
Also
probably
true.
true.
Also
Yeah.
true.
Why is he doesn't come into town? He doesn't come into
He's a
town.
witch.
No, I will go into town.
Nothing
Like
wrong with
every month, I'll come in
Yeah.
for like little I don't know,
Re-up on the witch
Tylenol.
stuff.
They have
I don't
Tylenol
know.
back then.
Aspirin, I think.
No,
Aspirin,
whiskey.
something.
No, you'd just take alcohol for everything.
Oh yeah, I'd
Yeah,
I'd buy
that's
some
true.
whiskey.
Take a
Actually, I
drink,
come in every
kid.
couple of days.
Take a drink, kid.
Bottle of whiskey won't get you too far in the woods. You got nothing else to
Yeah.
do out there.
That's right. What you doing out there? I've been counting the stars.
I would make bracelets
Right.
out of like vines and then come to town and
Oh
sell
God,
them,
you'd be
and
the
then-
original hipsters. You'd
The
be-
original hippie hipster.
Dude, yeah,
It's all organic bracelets,
Yeah,
man.
it's like help cure your. They're good for your arthritis, man.
Oh, I could be a
Yeah.
snake oil salesman from the
Yeah.
woods.
Hey, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I would just have to get a really colorful suit, a top hat, and one of those big ass boxes you can strap to your back.
Oh, there you go. You could be like the guy from the original Pete's Dragon,
No.
It's another movie you guys have probably never seen since you're. He had a top hat and sang. You'd have to sing too, of
Nice.
course. Yeah.
Did you guys think with like the opening shot, did you get callbacks to Gone with the Wind at all?
Well, the tree, yeah.
The tree and the orange and the black
Ah,
horizon.
Man,
interesting. I
that
didn't
is
put it
one
together.
loud hoe or whatever tool he's using there. It's whoosh, whoosh. It's like, man, we're far away and we could hear that sucker.
You can't even hear Clint grunting. He's a quiet whacker. I don't know what you call him.
A whacker.
Whacker.
A land
He's a
whacker.
whacker with his
It
hoe.
was strange
and
with
his whacking.
I just still, the text at the beginning and end. It's like, no one knows why she settled with that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
I
one
don't
knows
know
where he
either.
went. Rumor has it he sold dry goods in San Francisco
Yeah.
successfully, but now
I
he's
love
in
that
page of
dry,
that.
dry goods. That's a
Yeah.
fucking best
so
way.
unremarkable.
Yeah.
I also kind of liked it in this movie how they, every time they told a story to get people to join their little caravan of going to get the guys who sliced the girl up, they all lied about it. Like the kid lied about it because they didn't slice up her tits, and then
Right.
Clint lied about it because they didn't slice her fingers
Game
off.
of telephone.
But
Yeah.
they also, I think that they wanted the money and they wanted to justify the killing. So, it's you want them to be as bad as possible.
But isn't it bad enough that they sliced her face up?
Yes.
Yeah, it's bad. That is bad. But should you go and murder? You're gonna go murder them in cold blood?
Those guys deserve to get murdered. The guy
Hell
who did the
yeah.
slicing, 100%.
Yeah.
The other guy did not deserve
What
to
did
get
the other
murdered.
guy do? Did he hold her?
He was just partners.
I know, but I thought I
I don't know.
I
He went
wasn't-
over there to try to help, but then as soon as he started slashing, he jumped away.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, it's not great, and it also probably means that they might have done something like that before. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you can imagine the guy, the older guy did. Yeah.
What was English Bob's or English Bob?
English Bobby.
English Bob's business. He killed Asian people in the Old West. How was that
Is
legal?
that what he did?
Yeah, because like he talked about killing Asians on the something to do with the railroads. I couldn't quite understand it. And then like he saw two Asian people walking by, and he pointed his finger at them and like pretended to shoot them with his hand.
Oh, nice guy, huh?
Yeah,
Maybe
but, like,
maybe
what
you would
was
hunt down runaways or something. I don't know.
Were they slaves working on the railroad? Was that the?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's something like that. I have no idea. They didn't bother to.
Probably need to know more about history to understand what the hell.
I was a little surprised, and there was no racism directed at Morgan Freeman's character,
except for the whip.
Well, yeah, but that was, but otherwise,
they were gonna whip the first two dudes too, though.
Two
white guys.
No, they were gonna
before
whip
the pony talk started.
Yeah.
That's a good point though. But like, so this is supposed to be 1880.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be in Wyoming.
Ah.
What was Wyoming's like? Were they part of the South or the North in terms of slave ownership?
Oh, I don't know.
No idea.
Let's look it up.
That seems like that's a very popular question to ask. And it says, was Wyoming did not become a state until 1890. So it wasn't even a state.
It didn't even exist until 1868, 3 years after the end of the Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh, so
weird.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So what the hell was it? Because during the Civil War, they owned
land.
San Francisco was around during the Civil War. We learned that from The Rock, starring Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery.
The Rock.
Yeah. The Rock was an old prison during the Civil War. So they just like passed through Wyoming. We were like, dude, fuck this place. There's nothing here. We don't want this. That's what happened, right? Nod.
Yeah.
You guys are nodding?
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
One question I had during, like, I was pretty into this movie, as you could probably tell. There was one question I had that kind of kicked me out. I had a question about when Little Bill was kicking the shit out of English Bob. That was kind of jarring. I don't know why.
Yeah, where did it came out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Some context we don't know or something. I don't know.
I don't know. When Gene Hackman, Little Bill said, like, when he got his guns away, he's like, "Your enemies, huh?" And then he started kicking him, being like, "I'm one of your enemies." But if he was one of his enemies, wouldn't have English Bill have like known that? Or was English Bill or English Bob like too much of a drunk to remember that they were enemies or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's a good point. I don't know where all of Gene's anger and hatred came from, really. Like his character, like it did sort of, I have no, I mean, on one hand, he was like trying to think that what he was going to do is he was trying to set an example. And he needed to make a big spectacle of the whole thing so that more assassins wouldn't come into the town. And so that was his justification. But he also then acted a little embarrassed after that. He like just got carried away, and he sort of showed that. It seemed like he was a little bit like, oh, I just got carried away there. So it seemed like he was, on one hand, he was going to try to make a spectacle of it, and then he just sort of started to enjoy beating the crap out of him. I think maybe he was just particularly irritated by how this was a guy that always was sort of annoying and talking about the Queen or whatever, and also
I loved it. It made me hate him so much.
Oh, I know, and just fancied himself as and Gene knew better, and maybe
you wouldn't dare kill a king or a queen.
Maybe even back in the old days, he was annoyed by the guy, and so there may have been some just a bunch of annoyances with him that now he has a chance to beat him up, and he had this excuse because he needed to make an example to prevent the assassins, and then he got carried away. I don't know.
I like it. I like all of that. That's what I believe
sense.
in now. Yeah. So I'm going to disagree with you in two instances, John.
Oh no! What
you said? The
How
clumsy
dare you,
stuff
sir?
Was good.
The what stuff?
The clumsy stuff was good.
Oh, was
Falling
it good?
into the pig stuff.
Not the pig stuff. I did not say the him trying to get on his horse.
That was it.
Thought that was fun.
I didn't care for him falling into the mud.
No, I didn't really like that. I actually thought it looked weird, and then he just had this big smear of dirt in his face that he never wiped off, and it was just strange.
Okay, never mind. I agree with you on that. The other one, I thought the ending was awesome. I thought it was like extremely badass. How he just like, I don't think it was overdone. He just walked into the bar quietly and stood there with a gun, and everything happened really slowly. And like he ended up shooting 5 people dead, and then everyone else was just hiding because like his reputation was so much. And even when you could see kind of when he was exiting afterwards, after he let everybody out and he was leaving the bar, that he had a little bit of fear in him because he's like, hey, if anyone tries to shoot me, I'm gonna fucking kill you and also your friends and your family. I'm gonna burn your house down. So don't even fucking try it. And that like people don't have enough time to react to it. It's pouring out. I thought that was really effective, and he knows he's not that badass, but if he pretends to be, then it works. I kind of liked it. I thought it was good. Plus, he's like the negative guardian angel of that town.
But it almost gets you back to where you started in terms of it. It almost to me might be canceling out this whole anti-violence message that they might have been leaning towards in the first place that I liked.
I'm not sure there's a message. Well, I know for a fact that the anti-violence message wasn't supposed to be there.
I know, but the
So-
tone of it, yeah, I know. I just feel like that sort of shifts the tone. It's like, oh, and we're back to the Westerns as they were, with maybe a little bit more, showing a little more suffering there. But
I don't know. I think it shows that violence is bad, but
Yeah.
with violent people, it might be necessary to use violence to keep violent people in check.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or
Up in the
it's
air.
just that, you booze, you lose. Right?
No, you booze, you win, dude. He ate that
Yeah,
spinach.
No,
He
I know,
fucking
but as
went in
soon
there
as
with
you
big ass
booze,
formulas.
as soon as you booze, you go right back to being a degenerate.
I had that note that it's like he's like Popeye with booze.
Yeah, he's chugging the whiskey and he's going in there, guns blazing.
Dun-
Just
dun-
fucking
dun-
bam.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Bang! Gene Hackman dies.
I don't deserve to die like this. Yeah, yes, you do. Yes,
Yeah,
you
how did you
do.
think you were going to die, you piece of shit? Yeah, you guys ready for a little bit of trivia?
Yeah, a little trivia. Go.
Got a little trivia. I'll pretty much just shit on this guy's commentary. He
Right.
guessed at how things were done. He said multiple times, he's like, oh, you would imagine that they did a lot of research writing the screenplay and like reading old books. I bet they read a lot of old Westerns to make this screenplay. And he was using the word they because
Wow.
it was one guy.
They probably read a book or something.
Yeah, he probably just like, I don't know how they did this. They probably read some books.
Yeah.
They-
Thing with the
multiple-
words.
The old ones, because this is like an old one, so they probably, read old ones,
Yeah. And man, he
Wow.
paused for half the time. He would just watch scenes, and then some new character would come like, oh, here's the scene where you got Gene Hackman with the guy in the jail cell, and they're
Oh,
gonna.
what
And
if
he
this
just like
guy-
talks over what's
Yeah.
happening, and that's it. He doesn't
What
have
if
any
he
insight or
hates
anything.
doing this. He hated doing it. He never wanted to do it, but somehow he got money doing it. People just kept paying him to do it, and he hated it.
No, he fucking loves it, dude. He
Oh, I
loves
know. I'm
sounding
just-
all fucking smart
really?
and shit. The way
Oh,
he
that's too
talks,
bad.
he sounds like one of those assholes who just like who writes biographies on movies and goes on commentary about movies that no real person watches. And I can see somebody, weird and alone, sitting in a big ass chair with a cigar and a weird fucking fancy ass drink and listening to the commentary and just nodding and going, yes, yes.
Yeah, just like this.
Yes, this is good. This is a good track. Yes, I
Yes.
agree with this man.
Yes.
So I think it's like that. And I think there's a large portion of the population of commentary listeners that like that kind of thing. Because commentary listeners are fucking weird. Am I right, guys? Who the
Yeah,
fuck
you're
listens to
weird.
It's a
commentary?
very
You are weird.
strange group of people, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought. I mean, it's hard. I think the only one you've had a couple of good ones, and the Pan's Labyrinth was a really good one.
Oh, there's a bunch of
Um,
really good ones.
I
but
like
think
this Into
they're
the
all newer.
Spideyverse was a good one.
Which
Yeah.
one?
The Into the Spideyverse commentary. What little I listened to, I liked it. It was
That was a
just
good one too.
fun.
Yeah. I mean, the new ones are good because I think they want to sell physical media now. They don't just want people to stream it. So that's the only way they can
So
do
they
it.
and
It's like-
they get the actual people who did the film
Yeah.
in there, and it's also more with the newer stuff, especially. It's like it hasn't been like 20 years since they did it anyway.
Mm.
Right.
True.
And there are ones that actually like are almost like second movies, like Scott Pilgrim versus the World and Get Him to the Greek have the actors who are
Right.
basically comedians sitting together and watching the movie and joking around while also giving stories. And shit like that is the best. But this guy didn't have anything to do with the movie. He wrote a book on Clint
Yeah.
Eastwood. He's a boring individual who
Yeah.
thinks very highly of himself. And that just bothers me at face value. And I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, that
I would
bother me
recommend
too.
this shit to anybody.
Yeah.
So I
There you have it.
Yeah, I wish
Yeah.
we didn't have three or four more with this guy because I'm gonna listen to him. I'm
And you're gonna
Oh,
hate
dear,
it.
I'm
You know
sorry.
you
gonna
are.
hate him.
You're gonna hate it.
Yeah. Sure, sorry.
Oh well, that's all I got for this movie, guys.
I mean, I didn't have anything a long time ago.
Wow, these podcast episodes are getting shorter and shorter, guys.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, there's
well-
not much to this movie. I don't know what to
No,
say. You know,
there's
I mean,
not.
there's just not.
He left his kids
Yeah.
by himself. That was pretty irresponsible.
That seemed a little weird. Yeah.
He got his old friend killed. That was pretty
Yeah.
irresponsible.
And also, they can't even move the pigs, and the pigs are sick, and now you're gonna go. Apparently, they're okay.
In the script, the kid drowns himself out of guilt, so that's pretty irresponsible of him, letting the kid get so freaking
What?
depressed that
That happened in the script.
the Schofield kid drowns himself at the end. Yeah, they removed it
Jeez.
because they thought it was too dark.
Jeez.
Huh.
Clint Eastwood said before this movie came out that during some interview that he never thought he would get an Oscar. The person said, why? And he said, first, I'm not Jewish. Secondly, I make too much money. Thirdly, and most importantly, because I don't give a fuck.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Interesting.
There's a lot going on in that very short statement.
There's
a lot going
there's
on.
quite a bit of anger there. Yeah, for a few things.
Some of it going towards Jewish people. Which,
you know.
I mean, Clint's kind of a fucking wacko. I mean,
He is. I mean, he's said some not good things.
There was a thing where he was yelling at the chair recently. You know, that was fucking weird. The empty chair.
What was he yelling at the chair for? No,
I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? It was like during the 2015, before the elections, he was going for the Republicans and he had an empty chair. He was pretending that Obama was supposed to be there, but he wasn't, and he was like yelling at it.
I mean,
look
dude,
it up, dude.
It takes a very strange person to be an
I'm not
actor.
sure.
I think, honestly.
Oh man.
But I mean, I think it's people's fault. The fact that he even gets the stage to do that type of shit politically. He's a pretty good actor. I think his face is perfect for it. I think his gait and his face are perfect for what he's trying to do, which is a lot of what acting is. I think he's a pretty damn competent director too, even though he's a little cheesy. I kind of like the cheese sometimes.
The cheese.
Yeah. I think he's a shitty freaking musician, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's not my style of music. But yeah, I still kind of like him. I like most of the stuff I've seen him in. Would you guys agree?
Yeah, I'll agree.
I'm not trying to force it out of you, but John, do you also?
No, I do. That's sort of like, again, the guy is
he's a classic.
Kind of racist. So, and again, he's
an old white dude that loves to play fucking westerns.
Right.
I mean, come on.
The city of Big Whiskey was all built out, meaning that all the insides were also constructed, which is totally unnecessary, but kind of awesome. They could use it for extra sets and stuff, but they also shot through the windows of, like, across the way a lot of the time, which they couldn't have done if they were just flat buildings like they do in a lot of westerns.
Right. Yeah, true.
No one liked the script. Gene Hackman initially rejected it because the script was so bad.
Well, he was originally going to play the starring role, right? I mean, he was offered, wasn't he?
I'm not sure. But I know he rejected it, and also Clint Eastwood kind of rejected it because he has a script reader, and the script reader rejected it for him.
Yeah.
Wow.
And somehow Clint actually got his hands on it, and he's like, no, I'll do this. This will be good. And then once Clint was on it, Gene Hackman's like, yeah, I'll do this. This is probably going to be pretty good. Let's win Oscars, dudes. Let's do it. We're going to win some freaking Oscars over here. That's all I got, guys. That's all I got.
Wow.
Hey, guys, let's win some Oscars over here.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. You guys have anything else to say about this Best Picture winning, Best Actor winning movie from the early 90s?
When did it beat out for Best Picture? So Clint lost to Al Pacino for Scent of a Woman, which is funny.
Cool. Who did Gene Hackman beat out? He beat out Al Pacino for Glengarry Glen Ross.
Oh, okay. Al Pacino was in Glengarry Glen Ross?
I guess so. That was the year Marissa Tomei won for My Cousin Vinny. Great friggin' movie.
Oh, yeah.
Not on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Unforgiven was up against The Crying Game, A Few Good Men, Howard's End, and Scent of a Woman. Not a great year.
No, I could see this winning for sure.
Yeah,
I watched The Crying Game
competition
recently.
there.
You guys ever seen that movie, The Crying Game?
Yeah,
It's a fucking crazy weird movie.
It was very weird especially for the time. It was very strange.
Yeah, it was pretty good still. I was like thinking it was going to be all 90s and shit, but it was pretty damn original. I'd never seen anything like it.
Best director, it was Neil Jordan for The Crying Game, Howard's End, Robert Altman for The Player. That was a good movie. Did you ever see The Player?
No.
I don't think so.
It was a real...
It's a football movie?
No, it was all about... it was a send-up of Hollywood. It was pretty... I really liked it. Tim Robbins was in it, but it basically made fun of Hollywood.
I could go in on that. Tim Robbins making fun of Hollywood?
Same year, right? Fucking
yeah.
A. All right.
It was good.
Is A Few Good Men any good? I've never seen that one.
I thought it was okay. I don't really... Yeah.
That's the You Can't Handle the Truth one, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
It looks really freaking over the top.
Nicholson.
Go with the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Howard's End. Never heard of that one. What's that one? Let's just go on talking about these fucking movies, huh?
There wasn't this movie. Yeah, right.
It's got what's his name in it?
Ooh, who's the guy? Who's he? What's
Helena Bonham Carter in a movie from the early 90s? I didn't know she was an actress back then.
Yeah. Isn't that Howard's End?
Yeah, and Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good film.
Huh. Next week, a businessman thwarts his wife's bequest of an estate to another woman.
That's not what we're watching
Let's
next
not
week.
watch that one.
Oh,
huh?
are you serious?
No, we're not going to watch that one.
thank
That's
God.
Howard's End. 4 hours and 62 minutes. Why do they round up
You,
with
dude,
the
you're
fifth
getting
hour?
your snake oil voice down now.
Well, yes, this is a hemp bracelet, you see? This will cure you of all of your itchiness everywhere.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Sir, it burns. Yes, the burning sensation draws the attention away from the itchiness. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're on. You've got a voice.
Nice. I'm gonna
Snake
do
oil
business.
Denny. Yeah.
I'm going to do some business.
It's Emma Thompson. She's awesome.
Are we still talking about
she
that
got
movie?
Best actress then. Hey, I'm trying to keep things going here. Anyway.
Grasping at straws. We're on fumes at this point.
Are you guys ready to cry next week? Wait, first.
Are we really gonna cry next week?
Would you put Unforgiven on the top 250?
No.
Nope.
Yes.
But you might. Go, Denny.
I will. Absolutely. Absolutely freaking 100%.
Wow.
I like modern Westerns more than older ones. Have you guys seen the remake of 3:10 to Yuma?
No.
Yes, that was good.
Fantastic movie. If you like Westerns, it's like one of my favorite ones. It's got Christian Bale. And who's the other guy in that one?
Oh, I missed that one. I remember when that came out. I didn't see that. Fuck, I should.
It's so good.
Really?
Still, like, watch it tonight. I don't know. It's so fucking
maybe.
good.
We'll see.
Watch it right now. Just put it on.
You
while we're
put
going,
that
right?
on now.
Yeah, rent it. Put it on.
Yep.
We'll end it with the beginning of that movie.
You want to do a podcast on that one? Russell Crowe.
Russell
Christian
Crowe.
Bale.
Yeah, Ben Foster's in it too. It's
Yeah.
really fucking good.
Oh yeah, we are gonna cry next week. Fuck,
Oh,
man.
yeah, dude. Yeah, I'd put it on there. Older ones aren't as good as this one. I definitely think the weighted violence makes this something of more substance than the
I
older
agree.
stuff.
I agree.
That's basically it. And I thought the acting was pretty damn good. I was highly entertained throughout, and I fucking loved the rain machines, TC. I love them. I love it when it's raining or snowing in movies because I'm inside my house being like, oh, yes, I'm inside dry and warm. It's way better than being all wet on a horse. Fuck that. But I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to cry. We're going to watch Up from 2009,
Oh, nice.
directed by Pete Docter and Bob Peterson.
Yeah, we're gonna
You guys
cry.
ready? You ready for this?
Yeah, we're gonna cry.
I mean, you guys have
Yep.
seen this before, right?
Many, many times.
Yeah, buddy. Have
Yeah.
your kids watched this? Has Sam watched this yet?
Yeah, not for a while though, so she might be interested. So we'll see.
Cool.
She hasn't been a great interviewee lately though, but I can give it a shot.
A little bouncing off the walls, is she?
Yeah, just kind of not interested. Why do you want me talking to a microphone? Nobody's here.
Wow,
It's already
she's smarter than we
getting some
are.
attitude. She's got.
Yeah, well, that's great.
Oh God,
That's funny.
shit, Sam! I just had a revelation. I'm gonna quit. Damn.
Thanks.
Good
You know, I
point.
hadn't thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, this
Thanks,
is
honey.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's watch that next week. Now, I guess thanks for listening. If I got nothing else on this one.
Yep.
We kind of lengthened it out there the last 15 minutes, just talking about
we're
random
just
shit.
keeping
Good
it
job,
on
guys.
moving. Yeah,
Whatever.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Limping along
Yeah,
here.
and,
Yeah.
Timmy, you got any thoughts on this one?
No.
Timmy's been very unopinionated. As of
Yeah,
recent.
Timmy's losing
Who
steam.
worried? Yeah, a little worried
Right
about
now.
Timmy.
That's what's going on. Timmy's
Yeah.
Timmy's done for the
Timmy,
night.
you
Timmy's
okay?
done.
You okay,
Timmy's
buddy?
beat. Timmy's beat.
It is a Thursday, end of the week episode. Thank you for listening. Go to our website, mission250filmcast.com. Like and subscribe on your podcast app. We're on Facebook and Twitter. And we're going to watch Up next week. Why don't you watch it too? Everyone freaking loves Up. I bet you do.
It's
Everyone
good.
does.
It
Movie's
is a
great.
good movie. It's sad though.
It is very sad. But then it's happy. And then it's
Yeah.
sad.
And then
and then it's happy again. And, there's a dog. And he talks.
And then it's sad. All right, boys.
All right,
Talk to you guys
guys.
next week.
Later.
Stop